Hey NursePreneurs, it's Katie, and today I'm going to tell you a story. So I spent 20 years of my life working as a nurse. I did my work quietly, I didn't complain, I even looked down on nurses who did have the audacity to complain. So in short, my whole career, I was basically a martyr. I let the docs take all the credit for my work, I assumed they were the leaders, and I never really knew that I had an expertise. I worked hard, really hard, long hours, but at the end of the day, I had absolutely nothing to show for it. I always came from the work ethic of, if you work really hard, you will be rewarded. But this simply isn't true. I got passed over time and time again to be lead on projects, to be part of different groups, to get promoted, or even simply be recognized for my efforts. I tried not to get upset about it, but the seeds of resentment were there. And the more I tried to ignore it and say I didn't care, the more entrenched they became. Until one day I got into a fight with my attending. I blew up at him, and despite the fact that the guy was a jerk, and he really was, in hindsight, he didn't deserve my wrath. But I got suspended from work without pay and was forced to go to anger management classes. At the time I didn't understand what was happening. I'd worked so hard, and I should have been so much further along in my career. And yet here I was working my butt off, and instead of being recognized, I was in anger management classes. This is the epitome of rock bottom, and it was a wake-up call for me. In retrospect, I'm not surprised the blow-up happened. I'm just surprised it didn't happen sooner. The thing is, I created the situation I was in. I chose to be invisible and play second fiddle to the docs. I chose not to promote my own expertise. Part of me thought that that's what a good nurse was supposed to do. And quite frankly, I also thought it was the easier path to go. Except it wasn't. When I started my business, I was terrified to promote myself. It took me a year to make my first sale. But the more I started to become visible, the more I liked it. It became a part of my comfort zone, and I liked being seen and recognized, and all of the things I denied myself as a nurse. And now I look at the profession and I see microcosms of my thinking. Maybe it wasn't just me. Maybe it's ingrained in all of us for so long, we accept invisibility as part of the job of nursing. How else can you explain the lack of nursing presence in health conversations, in the media, or even on the world stage? So let me ask you this. Are you a nurse with many years of experience who is invisible to the world? Have you let the healthcare system take credit for all the things that you uniquely provided? Do you think that being invisible is what you're supposed to do? And have you experienced the seeds of resentment as they manifest themselves as burnout, exhaustion, and disdain for the profession? I think it's time for nurses to stop being invisible and start embracing their expertise. And the first step that you can take in embracing your expertise is to really think about what that expertise is. So I've created a free download for you that you can access below to discover your nursing expertise. And then I would encourage you to take the first step of setting up your LinkedIn profile with a real picture, a real professional picture, not a ghost picture or a picture of you cropped out of a group of people. LinkedIn isn't a job site, it's a professional network, and you'll find lots of opportunities there, but you have to show up, be visible, and start participating in conversations by letting the world know what you do. Tell me what your expertise is in the comments below, and if you know a nurse who could use this message, please share this video, and I'll see you in the next one.